friend, Roger Christopherson here again with another First Listen review. Apologize for the morning voice, but I can't seem to get rid of it today. So anyway, we are going to babble about Tom Petty, and I was really ready for this one. It's the reissue deluxe edition of Long After Dark. Tom Petty has just been one of these guys that I've been listening to since I was a kid, and this was the album that did it for me. It's funny because the first song I ever heard, I realized who it was anyway, was You Got Lucky, and I didn't really care for that song, quite honestly. It wasn't until I heard Change of Heart that I was like, oh, who's this guy? I know that one's kind of more of the poppier songs or whatever, but that's kind of the one that did it for me. And I kind of went back and got, his earlier stuff, and then just followed him ever since. And it's funny, I was kind of reading up on this album before it came out, and I saw that he was complaining about that he didn't like this album, was never happy with it, and a lot of these songs that are on the bonus part of this were songs he wanted to have on the album, and he thought it would have been a better album. I've never had a problem with this album. I actually really love this album, so I was really intrigued to hear what these songs were. So of course I do what I always do, and I go straight to the bonus disc, skip over to the remaster, and I go right to the bonus disc. And the first song on here, some of the stuff has been released before and other stuff. I kind of recognized a couple of these, but I'm not sure what versions. I have so much Tom Petty stuff. I've got so many bootlegs and compilations. I don't know, I can't remember off the top of my head which one where I've heard a couple of these before, but the first one here, Stories We Could Tell, on the bonus disc, I knew I'd heard that before. Not one of my favorite songs is, so I was like, oh, that's going to be one of these, it's just going to be crap that's not finished and stuff like that. But I was pleasantly impressed that it wasn't any of that from that point on. In fact, Never Be You was like full production. One of the songs I believe was not included that he wanted to be, and that was a pretty cool song. A little slower than some of the other stuff on the album, so maybe that's why it was left off. I don't know. Then the Turning Point one I had actually heard before too, and that's a good song. But let me tell you, when I got to track number 4, Don't Make Me Walk the Line, and I believe there's another artist that did that one. I can't not remember the name of who it was, country or some sort, a female slip in my mind, but his version of the song I thought was really good. I don't know if they left it off the album because they were giving it to this other artist or not, but his version of it I really like. So that's right there is what really kicked in, and I was like, oh, okay, this is some cool stuff. And it kind of stayed that way from that point on. It's got some more stuff from that French TV show here, I'm finding out, and one called Heartbreakers Beach Party, which was kind of, I don't know, that one was okay, but and Keeping Me Alive from the French TV and the Straight in the Darkness, I had heard all those before. It's just a different version of Straight in the Darkness from that French TV show. And the one I thought I'd heard this before, but I'm thinking about it, I don't know, maybe I've never heard Tom's version of it before. I remember hearing it from Lone Justice back, because I was a big Lone Justice fan when I first heard Maria McKee sing, and this is one of the songs I heard her do. I was like, holy moly, that's a good song. I didn't realize Tom Petty had written it at the time. I did find that out later on, and finally getting to hear his version of it here was really cool. I really liked that song. That would have been a really good one to have on the original. I think that one, if they had somehow found a way to keep that on the original one, that would have put it over the top, but really good song. And then Between Two Worlds and One on One are also extra ones that I'd never heard before, so those were good. One on One was a really good song. Between Two Worlds was just a different version of it from the album, but it was the French TV one. I just never heard it before. But the One on One song was really good. I enjoyed that one, and then it ends with his version of Wild Thing. I don't know why they did that. It was just fun or what. Quite a bit different from the original, but it was fun just to hear him do it. So overall, that part of it, I would give it like, since a lot of stuff was released already, I would give it, like a 5 out of 10 rating, just because the bonus stuff wasn't all bonus stuff, there was a lot of it, but it was all good. So, I mean, just because of the fact that it was already been out before and released, I guess is why I'm really, because of the quality of the music. The music was all great. I'm going to listen to that several more times, because let me tell you, the Never Be You, Don't Make Me Walk the Line, and To Be Wicked on their own are worth the price for me anyway. But then we get to like one of my nemesises, which is always remasters. I never know what we're gonna get with the remasters. A lot of the times, I think the remasters are worse than what the original was. So I'm always a little hesitant going into listening to remasters. So when it kicked in, I instantly noticed that it's a lot brighter, and the density of it isn't there. There's no that fullness that you get with a lot of albums, that low end and the fullness you feel. That was kind of not gone, but it definitely wasn't as strong. Although the clarity of like the instruments were all there. So it's one of, I'm kind of 50-50 on this one too. I enjoyed listening to it. It was nice hearing it. It was clearer. Like the guitars and the vocals, you can hear the bass a little bit better. The drums hit a little bit, snappier. However, like I said, that bottom end just wasn't there for me like it was on the original. So fun to listen to. I could probably take either version of it. I'm just used to hearing the original one for so many times that sometimes when you hear something that's this different and you know something that's that big is different, it's a little bit jarring. So it may take a few more listens to get used to that one, but I could take it or leave it. So I guess that's where I'm leaving it, that one. But the bonus stuff was kind of fun. I always love just hearing stuff that I've never heard, and when you get something from Tom Petty that has never been out there before, I just think it's worth it no matter what. Because a lot of times they just throw one or two songs on his greatest hit stuff, and they, get you full price for this stuff. But this was worth it. You get a whole extra CD of bonus stuff, even though some of it was out there. A lot of people probably have not heard all that stuff. In fact, I can't remember what version I have it on, so having it all in one place together, I guess I have to bump this up to like maybe a 7. I don't know. But anyway, as always, feel free to leave your comments on Tom, what you think of this album, if you've heard it. Is it one of your favorites? Have you heard the new stuff yet? Whatever. And as always, like, share, and subscribe to keep this music alive, because if they got more stuff in the vaults that we haven't heard, I'm ready for that too. So until then, we will see ya.